So I was looking around Roblox when I realized Roblox is getting way too easy. Almost every game on the front page has zero difficulty to them, and Grow a Garden literally turned off dying. So I decided to make a list of the hardest Roblox games of all time to finally see which game gets to be crowned the title of Roblox's hardest game. But I'm not just going to play them. I'm going to review each game based on firstly how many times I died in a 15-minute interval, how hard it actually was, and how much I actually enjoyed playing the game. Then I'll reveal the final tier list and winner at the end of the video, starting off with... Climbing game is the game where you literally just climb up mountains. But what makes this so special, and the reason I put it first on the list, is because it's not like all those other obby games where you just jump onto platforms and overkill bricks. This game actually has an entire custom climbing system with pretty good animations. That makes it very satisfying to climb up mountains. But so far you're probably thinking, this game does not seem hard at all. But wait. Once you get past level 1, it gets like insanely hard. Because in this game, I literally died thousands of times. And that was with me actually trying. The game overall though is very fun, but also literally got me banned from Roblox chat because I was raging too much. There's definitely worse games, but this one was both fun and hard at the same time. I've been seeing so many videos about this game and decided to finally try it out, but the game itself had a very cool art style, and most people are going to say this is retro slot, but it's still cool. The second you start the obby, you realize that this is not a normal Roblox obby. You try to jump over the first block and it literally jumps up and kills you, so you go around, then go around again, but then die again. And this is basically how the game works. It's a lot of trial and error. You probably die hundreds or thousands of times just to complete the game because of that. And as a plus, for some reason they disabled shift lock in first person, which makes it just like way harder. But once you get past the first stages, which took me a pretty long time, I mean I literally had to start looking up tutorials by this dude.
Have you been struggling to beat I want to fix the game? You got stuck on any of these levels maybe? Maybe that's what happened? Well, don't worry.
But once you get past the first stages, you realize how unique this game actually is. I mean, I literally had to look up an entire new tutorial on how to save progress on these stupid checkpoints. And there's literally entire boss fights and so many unique mechanics that makes this game so good and also insanely annoying. I literally almost scrapped this video entirely because I was on level 5 after over like an hour of recording, and overall I hate this. I'm going to keep this one short because literally everyone on Earth has played this game, but this is probably the game that brought the most attention to Roblox obbies out of any other game. It's not insanely unique or anything, it's just simple. It's a randomly generated obby that you go up to reach the end. There's things like fog and low gravity that you can buy to troll, but overall this game is pretty annoying to play and makes basically everyone who played rage. I feel like it's so rage inducing, not because of like the obbies being actually hard, but mainly because there's no checkpoints at all. So once you mess up an easy jump, it means you have to start all the way over at the bottom. And I will admit though, some of the pro towers do get pretty hard, but overall this game is way more fun than it is difficult. Now to start, this Roblox game costed 200 Robux just to even play, which isn't too insane, but I just had to note it. But the description literally says, this game is incredibly difficult with little to no hand-holding, enter at your own risk. And when you join, you realize it's an RPG game, and I spawned in as a green dude named Titus for some reason. But I literally couldn't figure out how to open the door until I realized you press E, even though there's no prompts or like anything to tell you that. But once I was out, I actually started climbing up a cave to the outside world. I then actually had to watch a tutorial by this dude.
Hello everyone, welcome back or welcome to...
But that made me even more confused, so I literally had to ask ChatGPT, which made me even more confused. And that's when I decided to just die because I'd gotten way too lost. Except I didn't die, and I just had a broken leg the entire time. So overall, I tried everything basically in this game, just makes no sense at all. But here's the video of what it looks like if you're actually good, so it's probably a good game. I'm just bad at it. So at first I thought this game was just a clone version of Tower of Hell but with lava, but the obbies do seem to be a different style. Maybe I'm wrong, but to play this game you basically push this button to start the obby and start rising lava, which is just like a red part for some reason, but I got really confused on some parts and just had no idea where to go. And even though this game's average audience is probably 8 years old, it was still pretty hard to do because it's just a very tall tower and it was pretty fast paced. Overall though, this game was pretty badly made, but it was also pretty hard, so This game apparently has 4 different games and 4 parts to it, which made it even more annoying because I had to play each and every one, but it's very similar to I Want to Test the Game. There's tons of random traps and there's stupid stuff that makes it so annoying, and you have to learn like tons of patterns and start timing jumps like perfectly, otherwise you die, which makes it way harder but also kind of fun at the same time. But the reason this game was so hard for me was because of these stupid pop-ups that happen whenever you touch parts that basically blindfold you for a second. Also, someone tell me if it's just me, but this part was literally completely broken and impossible to get past even with the car. I don't think it's supposed to kill you in the car. But anyways, on the final game, which is You Don't Want to See Me Infuriated, I remember literally spending hours trying to beat this. So because this game is badly made and there's a 5 Roblox Game Pass that literally just throws fruit on your screen, here's the rating. This was definitely the most well-made and just cool-looking game on the list, but that doesn't mean it's the best. There's a casual and an adventure mode, and casual gives infinite lives, and you basically have to do this mode unless you're insanely good at this game, just because it's basically impossible to not die in this game. Once you start, you quickly realize this game's movement system is unlike any other game you've ever played though.
Wait.
You can move around normally, but when you press jump, you have to hold it based on how far and how much power you want to jump with. And what makes it even harder is once you're holding jump, you can't really change direction, so it's pretty restricted movement. The whole point of the game though is to get down this like huge mountain or like valley thing, and there's obviously fall damage, so you can't just jump off. But other than that, this game is insanely hard, but it's also very well made and just like majestic. And you have to actually think hard to find the best routes to go down effectively. So overall, amazing game. And also a tip if you ever play is to follow these arrows. They actually help a ton, because at first I didn't and I just got completely lost. Also, apparently just crafting and whatever this is, but I couldn't figure it out. So if you know what that is, just comment or something. I originally overlooked this game because it literally had 1 player active, but I decided to put it in because it just looks so cool but simple. When I joined, I was greeted by Supreme, who was apparently not very good at pushing the rock up the hill. And after 2 rock falls, another guy joined to help out, but after falling again, we decided to apparently start forcing the other players to bring the rock up the hill to us. But after they failed another 2 times, we all decided to just try again, and I started a strategy of using shift lock to get a better angle on the rock. But once we were finally making progress, we failed again and again until after 545 tries, we finally got to the top and celebrated. Oh yeah, never mind. It got too hard, so we all just quit, because apparently this game takes 4 hours to complete. This game is simply an obby, but you can't jump. Apparently when I joined, I was already on level 47, so I decided to just go back to the beginning so I can complete it fresh all the way over. But I do not remember playing this game at all, so I must have played it in like 2020. It's basically just those difficulty chart obbies, except with things like boxes you push to get to places you can't normally jump, and conveyors that make you go very, very slow because you can't jump over anything. This was definitely not the best made game on the list, and it also wasn't the hardest game on the list, but it did have some hard moments, and it overall was a kind of fun game to check out once and never again probably. Also, I had to go through this game twice because I forgot to record the first time, so yeah. And yeah, this game literally is just an exact copy of the actual game, Getting Over It, but if you ignore that, the game is surprisingly accurate. And just judging by the game's Tower of Hell leaderboard thing on the right, you can tell that basically nobody was getting very far in this game at all because of how hard it was to even get up a tiny little ledge. But I think the stupidest part of this game though is when you land on a place, it just doesn't put you there. It like makes you bounce a little, which just messed me up completely and it made it basically impossible to do anything. But once I got the hang of it, it was actually very satisfying to play and got pretty fun when you're getting fast at it. But I have no idea what happened with the game's textures though in development, because it has good quality models and the textures look like a PS2 game. This is actually probably one of the most infuriating games on the list just because of how stupid it is to control and the fact there's no checkpoints. But I eventually just bought the huge hammer mod, which teleported me to a modded server with this, and the game was still extremely hard, so I feel like I got scammed. But anyways, after playing some of Roblox's hardest games ever made, I finally came to the conclusion that the hardest Roblox game of all time is